Welcome to TransMissions Alt Mode, the podcast that will travel to Mars just to get on the waiting list to get a COVID vaccine. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent TransMissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
The amazing and awesome producer and editor, Mike.
That's one hell of a tough trip to Mars there, boy.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
You guys got any vaccines? I don't see any vaccines in there. Let's talk Transformers.
It's just over to the left there, kid. Just over to the left.
Oh, boy. As always, we start out the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you so much for continuing to support the show and contributing. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a Donatreon, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. This week, we welcome back one of our Donatreons, Will. He's joined back up. Thank you for continuing to support us again. We really appreciate it. Will, welcome back. And you are just in time to be entered into our monthly Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing. And the February drawing is going to be done next week, actually this weekend. So if you get an entry in before February 28th, you will be entered into our February Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing. You can enter by two ways. The first way is becoming a Donatreon. So Will's already done that. So thank you, Will. But if you'd like to become a Donatreon, that will automatically enter you in the contest. Or you can send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com with a picture of the Transformers item or toy you would like to get stickers for. So two easy ways to enter, and you've still got a couple days to do it. So get cracking. Mike, anything you want to tell us about the next episode of Empire of Rust, episode 44? That's coming this Monday, March 1st. A mind in the dark when all other minds go out. That sounds ominous.
It took me forever to come up with the name for that that episode. Actually, I need to think back on it because we're actually a good number of episodes ahead. We've kind of like padded up everything, so we have a little bit of a safety net in there. So
You worked out your pandemic recording situation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a few times, like when we were still recording like live in person, like we were hitting like the deadlines like so close. Like I was wrapping up an episode like the Monday before it came out, and that's just not safe at all.
Not for a highly produced podcast. For chuckleheads like us, it's fine.
But no, it if I remember correctly, this we are right when Fix It and everyone was kind of getting together for it. So this we're still in the prep stage for the big assault. So yeah, it's we still have a couple episodes of kind of getting ready for the big attack against the final big bad of season 1. So we're proceeding along and we're almost there. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, everyone, look forward to that coming this Monday. All right, well, we are doing a special Transmissions Alt Mode video podcast, so we're doing the whole thing on video, and that's because we are going over our best of 2020 survey results. So you guys sent in you guys entered the survey. You told us what your favorite Transformers toys and comics were of 2020. We already did the toy results in the main Transmissions show, so you can check that out. That's Transmissions episode 422. And now here we're going to talk about comics, the best Transformers comics of 2020. And then at the end, Mike, you might say a little something about the Empire of Rust results. So people had some feedback for Empire of Rust. So you're going to go through that a little bit. Do I have that right?
Indeed, you got it. It's
all right.
The few good things that happened during 2020. All right. Our episodes. We had 52. We had 52 good pieces of news for all you fans here over the course of 2020. So whenever you look back on 2020 and think, what a dumpster fire, well, I can provide you with 52 reasons that it was great.
The new 52, if you will.
That is not among those reasons.
All right, well, let's jump right into our results for the best Transformers comics of 2020. So, starting off, we'll work up to our the best comic, the comic series of 2020. That's going to be at the end, but we'll start off with some of our some of the people who work behind the scenes on the art and production of the Transformers comics. So, first up, the question was, do you read Transformers comics? So not everyone in the fandom really is in it for the comics. I'm a big Transformers comic guy, but it depends. But we had a total of 338 votes in the survey who took the survey at all. And so we forced them to all to answer this question. So you had to answer this question to complete the survey. Do you read Transformers comics? And 52.7% said yes. So that's over half. That's a good number. So all these people were pushed on to answer the rest of the questions in the survey. But if you said no, you don't read the comics, there wasn't any point in getting you to answer questions about the comics. So you got to skip that part. But if you said yes, we took you on. So that took us to some of the results. So we asked who you thought was the best letterer for the Transformers comics this year. And
actually competition this year.
Yes. So this award is actually we've officially named this title. This is the Tom B. Long Award for Excellence because Tom B. Long had been doing letters for Transformers comics in production for many years. He basically retired in 2020. Retired from Transformers comics, I should say, not retired completely, but he is no longer working with IDW and working on Transformers comics. So he only had a couple that he did this year. But he was still in the running, but he did not win. And the winner was our new regular letterer, Jake M. Wood. And I wonder what it is about Transformers comics letterers that their names sound like porn actors, but got Jake M. Wood.
You have to have the initial.
I mean, Jake M. Wood and Tom B. Long,
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah, you just have your mind in the gutter.
Charles watches porn for the story.
What kind of comics does Charles read?
Rick L. Steele.
But congratulations to Jake M. Wood, our new regular letterer. You are the winner. You got 55.4% of the vote. Tom B. Long did come in second place with 37.5%, and then Neil Uyetake came in third with 7.1%. So, all right, congratulations to Jake M. Wood. Now, moving on to cover colorists. So, a lot of the Transformers comics are produced many variant covers, and a lot of those covers have different artists and colorists working on these covers. So we separated out these awards. So best cover colorist, this had 118 votes. And coming in, it was a pretty clear victory, plurality of the vote with 44.1%. That was Mr. Josh Burcham. So congratulations to Josh. And runners up we had with 22.9% of the vote was John Paul Bove, and 25.4% of the vote was Josh Perez coming in second. So all friends of the show and longtime Transformers colorists, congratulations. Now, best cover artist, and this is lines only. So these are cover artists who only did the lines and then handed it off for colors. We had 126 votes for this category, and another clear decisive victory with the plurality of the vote with 41.3%, Mr. Alex Milne. and his covers are always very unique. Very his style is much beloved in the Transformers comics fandom. So not really a surprise. In particular, you can see this an example of his work. This is for Transformers Galaxies. I believe this is Galaxies issue 6. This stained glass
I think
image.
so.
And this was a really we really praised this image when we saw it back last year. And I think that's just one of the many images that Alex has produced for Transformers comics just in 2020.
Has he ever lost this award?
Hmm.
There's a couple of those. There's a couple categories that he's consistently won, even though he's not on a main book anymore.
If only we had someone that had thought to go back and look at all of our results.
Well, usually it falls to the person who asked the question to find the answer, right? But I don't believe he won the cover artist every year, but he did win a lot, and he also is won the interior artist award almost every year, I believe, and that trend might continue this year when we get there. So, but congratulations to Alex. We are big fans of your work, and yeah, I should say the runners up. With 27% in third place, that was Casey Collar, and with in second place with 20. Oh, I did this wrong. Third place is 26.2%. That was Nick Roche, and then Casey Collar was in second place with 27%. So, congratulations.
I didn't go back too far. Alex did win last year for this category.
Okay, very nice. Okay, now moving on to a full cover artist. These are the artists who do both lines and colors for the covers they produce. And this was with 123 votes. With a pretty decisive here, 37.4% of the vote goes to Mr. Guido Guidi and all the covers he produced for the Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies series. So Guido is another fan favorite artist. Runners up with 12.2% in third place, that's Anna Malkova. And in second place with 19.5%, Sarah Peter Durocher. Now, moving on to the interiors. So we had best fill-in / partial interior artists. So these are the artists who didn't have a regular book, but did contribute some art to some of the books. And this was 120 votes who answered this question. This was a little bit more evenly split, but edging it out with 36.7% of the vote, Beth McGuire Smith. She was the best partial artist. She's
now the regular, isn't she?
Yeah, she was doing regular art duties with Anna Malkova on the main Transformers book, but they kind of shared duties back and forth on the during the year. But she's now I believe she's doing the regular art on Transformers Escape, and the miniseries that's going on right now. But yeah, so she won for best partial, and then runners up 28.3%, Sarah Peter Durocher, and then second place 29.2%, Jack Lawrence. And I believe they both were contributing to the Transformers My Little Pony crossover, so that's where they did their partial
also
artwork
Valentine's
for this year.
Day special.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sarah Peter Durocher did the backup story in the Valentine's Day. And Jack Lawrence did the main art in the Valentine's Day. So yeah, there you go. Right.
I just copy and paste what you put in the doc. So
I can't remember everything, Jeremy.
That's your gimmick.
That's my bit. Oh. All right. Moving on to best regular interior colorist. So this is with 125 votes. So this is a colorist who does regular work on any of the books this year. So this was again pretty evenly split, but edging it out with 29.6%. Again, Mr. Josh Burcham. He's doing the colors. I think he did the colors on pretty much all the Transformers Galaxies books this year. And runners-up with 28.3% was Sarah Peter Durocher, and then 29.2%. No, sorry. Sorry, I messed that up. Read the wrong one. 25.6% in third place was John Paul Bove, and then 26.4% was Joanna LaFuente. And she did the colors for the main Transformers series, and she has now retired from doing Transformers colors, and so she this is the last time I guess we'll see her on for a little while on Transformers comics. Okay, moving on to best regular interior artist. So this was 137 votes. Again, this was a clear plurality with 46.7% of the vote. Mr. Alex Milne coming back again to take this category. He did the Transformers versus the Terminator. He did the whole series for that. And he did the two-issue series of Transformers Galaxies, the Cliff Jumper storyline in Transformers Galaxies. That was issues 5 and 6. So Alex... again, another, he's as I mentioned, he's been a fan favorite for a long time, so it's not a surprise he's winning. In the runners-up category with 16.1%, we had Anna Malkova as in third, and then second place, 22.6%, Guido Guidi. So Anna Malkova is now doing the regular art on the main Transformers book, and then Guido Guidi, who did Transformers 84, Secrets and Lies. So. Okay, moving on to writer, the best comics writer for 2020, with 130 votes total for this category. And again, this was not too much of a spread, but we did have a pretty clear plurality with 37.7% of the vote. Simon Furman, old school Simon Furman, coming back with Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies this year, or last year, I should say. And he captured the majority, or not the majority, the plurality of the vote. In the runners-up with third place, 12.3%, Kate Leth and Cohen Edenfield. They did the Transformers Galaxies Cliff Jumper wannabe mini story. And then with 20% of the vote was the main Transformers writer, Brian Ruckley, working on the main series. So congratulations to them. Okay, coming to the last few awards, we've got the best Transformers comic story arc, and we had 151 votes here. This was also more evenly spread with 23.8% of the votes. Secrets and Lies, Transformers 84, the miniseries, issues 1 to 4. This was judged the best comic story arc. The runners-up in third place with 17.9% was Rise of the Decepticons in the main Transformers story. That's issues 19 to 23. And then 19.2% in second place was Wannabe, the Transformers Galaxies Cliff Jumper story, issues 5 and 6. So congratulations to all the people who worked on those books. And the best Transformers single issue story, because we did have a lot of single issue stories this year, so we broke that out into a separate category. This one had 135 total votes. And again, this was more evenly spread with 28.1% of the vote. The Transformers Valentine's Day special. So that was a cute story we got last year. We didn't get a Valentine's Day special this year, unfortunately, but that was I think we had a good time with that story last year. Runners up 23% was the Wheeljack Orbital Decay story, where Wheeljack and his team was saving the moon from spinning off into the sun. And then 27.4% was the War World Prime story. That was a Wheeljack Orbital K was Transformers 24, and then War World Prime was Transformers number 25. And 25 was a double-sized issue. I think that was a really meaty, good story, a good climax to the whole pre-war storyline. And, you know, of course, you had Optimus Prime getting the Matrix for the first time. So that was I thought it was a really well done story. So, but that was the runner up, of course. But the Valentine's Day special was the winner. Okay, last award is the best Transformers comics series of 2020 of the year. And this had 159 total votes. This was also more evenly spread, not a clear majority, but the one that edges it out with 24.5% of the vote was Transformers 84: Secrets and Lies. This seemed to be winning in a lot of categories here. In the runners up in third place with 22% was Transformers, the main comic, the main ongoing. And then second place with 23.9% of the vote was Transformers Galaxies, the anthology series that sadly concluded in last year. So that is your results for the best Transformers comics of 2020. So Daryl, I want to throw it to you. What did you have any thoughts on these results here? The artists that are winning. Seems like they're continuing to some artists like Alex Milne continue to pop up. We did have some newcomers getting thrown in the mix this year, so maybe their stars will keep rising. But what did you think of the overall results?
Well, I thought they were all pretty good. I'm not surprised that that Alex Milne took the categories that he did. I'm a big proponent of his work and a huge fan of his, and he's definitely shown that he can really produce even when it's a small amount of work that he gets, which is really unfortunate because he just kills it when he gets the work. So I don't expect IDW to take our survey results, and do anything with them, or even watch the video or look at the anything. I just, it's just a fun little survey that we put together. But they've got to know that that Alex is a rock star, and that year after year, the people that buy the comics like his work. And it's just I look at it as a fan of his and just get really upset that he's getting less and less work year after year. You don't bench your star player, when you need results. So that's just the way I see it. But all the other stuff is great. I mean, I've made a lot of comments about how the comics have been going and how the story has been going. And there's a lot of people that I talk to online and in person about how they've all thought that the comics have been slow. And we think we've all kind of agreed that it's been a real slow burn, but it's finally starting to pick up. 2 years is a long time to wait for something to actually happen in a comic book series. But I guess it's finally happening now. I am not shocked that Secrets and Lies performed the way it did. It's a fantastic little miniseries, and I hope that IDW sees some numbers from that, because it'd be nice to get some more Secrets and Lies writing in that from Simon Furman, and art from Guido Guidi, which is just, he's phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, really great answers on this survey, and yeah, I'd like to see some more stuff of the people who won. That's it shows what people want, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was announced just last week that Alex Milne is doing the Transformers Annual for 2021, so we look forward to that.
Big news there.
Yeah, so and that's very cool. So that we did get some initial cover artwork shown off. So that's awesome news. But yeah, that's one book for the whole year. So hopefully we get some more from Alex than just that one book. But that's cool. All right, Mike, did you have any thoughts on the survey results?
Just like from the toy show, my results are spectacularly wrong. I got one right. And that was the
show.
Yep. And that was the Alex Milne on the best interiors. Everything else was off.
You got your finger on the pulse of the fandom there, Mike.
as of 2 years ago, yeah. Yeah. I was surprised that Tom B. Long didn't win. Kind of disappointed in that. I would have liked to send him out as a winner in his last year on our survey, but unfortunately not. And I did not pick Secrets and Lies for my favorite. So, yeah.
What did you pick?
I did it was Rise of the Decepticons for the best arc, and it was Orbital Decay for the best single issue. And then I did Galaxies for the best series overall.
Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah.
0 out of 3. But no, it's none of it's really surprising to me. Just disappointing because I got it wrong again.
Maybe you found your gimmick.
Yeah. Always getting things wrong. Back to you, Charles. Oh no, Jeremy. Right.
Well, yeah, Jeremy, tell us what did you think of the survey results?
A lot of it was fairly what I expected. I don't know. I was surprised that we didn't have more of the new people show up, but I am happy to start seeing their names, like Beth McGuire-Smith, winning something, and Anna Malkova came in second in one. And I expect next year, with their body of work having increased so much, they're probably going to take some of these categories next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great to see. And storylines, like I was surprised that like some of the crossovers didn't show up, but then I think Ghostbusters wasn't that 2019?
Yeah, that was 2019.
I think I remember it showed up last year. And then Back to the Future just has had 2 issues? And I think one of them was this year. So, thinking about it, it's not surprising because they just haven't had the crossover issues. But I don't know, My Little Pony, that crossover, I think came in second, or I don't know.
No.
It didn't even place in the top 3.
It didn't place. Yeah, it didn't place in the top 3.
I was surprised because that one was a fun little crossover.
Also, Transformers versus Terminator also didn't place in.
Yeah, it just
in the running
just
there
for the Alex Milne interior
right.
artist. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was those were some of my surprises, but all in all, I'm happy to see at least one of the new artists take a category, and I'm looking forward to seeing, next year, now that they're getting more comfortable in their styles and have a bit better body of work, or a bigger body of work, what they do.
All right. Well, that is all the results for the best Transformers comics of 2020. And so I'm going to pass it over to Mike to talk about the feedback for Empire of Rust, our Transformers live play RPG podcast.
Thank you, Charles. So, first thing we got to talk about here is we're actually going to keep this super quick because I'm hoping to go through kind of this in a bit more detail with the cast and the crew and everything over at Empire of Rust, and maybe release it as a special for everyone. So that's always that'd be always nice to see, nice to hear. But we got a big problem starting off here because I'm seeing that first question we asked. How many of you how many of you listen to Empire of Rust out of all the Transmissions listeners? And 62% of you said no. Mm. And 25% of the hosts here said no.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I do understand it is not for everyone, but please, give it a try, give it a listen. Try the first, 2 or 3 episodes, and just say, you know what, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. I do understand that. It is a very, very niche kind of experience. So, the Venn diagram of podcast listeners, Transformers fans, RPG fans,
Yeah.
that circle gets really, really small really quickly. But if you haven't tried it, then just give it a try. Give it 2 or 3 episodes, and if you don't, then I won't bug you anymore. But be sure to try it before you say you don't like it. As my ma used to tell me all the time. I never listened, but still. Yeah. So, one thing I was really surprised with here was the support that. One of the questions that we asked was who's your favorite character, and one of the big surprises I got was the support that Rex, Blazer, Grazer, and Laser still have, even though they left the show in the middle of the beginning of last year. So Rob still gains a huge following. So that is great. But yeah, I'm glad to see that everyone's enjoying the story, and the descriptions of the rules are all good and clear for everyone. And I know that everyone who has responded does want to see all of you guys, all of the other hosts over here, play a couple more episodes. It is not out of my mind yet. I had intended to have something written up for the beginning of this year for like January, February. Just life has gotten away from me a little bit, so it is still on the agenda to record the next episode of the Transmissions version of Empire of Rust, and it will be coming soon. I just need to get all of my writing and my planning done and set before we actually schedule a time to have everyone come on. And
Cool.
as far as kind of comments that people have put together, the big thing is Yoshi. Apparently, everyone wants to see Yoshi in there. Makes perfect sense to me. Yoshi. All right, cool. So that's all I got. Like I said, we'll be doing more of an in-depth kind of thing with the rest of the cast and crew in the coming weeks, and look for that probably in probably either late February or March at some point.
All right. Well, I think if that's all we got.
Do you want to go through a couple of the final comments that people left?
Oh, okay. Have you had a chance? I have not really looked at. If you have a couple of that you want to pull from, I can throw it to you.
yeah. There's a couple that you're awesome. That's
that's just for Jeremy.
Well, no, it doesn't say. I don't know who it's attributed to or targeted
Actually,
to.
Jeremy, could you do that transition again, just so I have an easier place to cut it?
Okay. What? Just bring in?
Yeah,
like,
or Charles, whoever wants to do it. Just,
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, just a nice clear transition into the section.
Okay.
Also, Daryl, I'm going to have to ask you to talk clearly into the microphone, please.
Fuck you.
All right, and there is my outtakes. Good.
All right, that's it for the Empire of Rust's feedback. So let's finish up the show with some general transmissions feedback for that we got through the survey. So a lot of people wrote in some good feedback. Let's select out a few.
Yeah. In this the final comment section, which is basically just completely open-ended, just asking people if they have anything else to say. The first response out of the 71 people that did this was no. And we had a couple people say you're awesome, which is obviously targeted towards Yoshi, because that's just everyone always does that. Russian Yoshi is a bit that needs to die a slow and painful death.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We got this was a great poll. It helped me gauge my interest and see other areas of the fandom for me to explore. So that was cool. We're doing a great job keeping someone sane at work. Mike, Empire of Rust, bright spot of 2020.
Aw,
So,
you guys are awesome.
someone suggested that we add a question about what YouTubers that people watch. Like there was a number of Transformers YouTubers. So.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I listen to is Thew Adams. Thew's toy reviews.
Yeah, he's a
I
good
think
one.
Thew is probably one of the biggest. We had no questions about the War for Cybertron Netflix series. Someone else also suggested having any cartoons that come out or movies. So that was something that I think we just completely forgot to add. Daryl. Well, I guess this would be Charles. This would be Charles's fault.
Well, I mean, it's hard. What was the best
Yeah.
Netflix series of 2020?
Right. Yeah, I guess that would be hard.
I guess Earthrise or Siege. I don't know. I don't know how you structure the questions for that.
Maybe we could do questions about like characters or
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to figure out a way to do it, and obviously, Kingdom's going to be out for this year's.
Yeah. We'll think about it for 2021. We've got
and there
Kingdom.
Was Cyberverse too. So.
Yeah, that's true. And we'll have Cyberverse movies in 2021. So we'll think about it. Well, feedback received, and we will act on it this year.
Yeah. Don't be smelly.
That's for Daryl.
And for the packaging question, someone suggested we ask if you open toys and keep the box as one of the options.
Okay.
A lot of hate on Daryl in this episode.
That was just a suggestion. And then someone said that they don't really keep up to date with Transformer news. They don't really have any suggestions. Someone said that they don't listen, but it'd be neat if we did cover Transformer toy news. So we'll get on that.
Daryl, why don't you cover toys at
all? We should have questions about modding and upgrade kits.
That opens it up to so much more stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I'd love just like an episode on modding and upgrade kits. Maybe like a declassified or something.
Yeah.
Get on that.
And then I'll do a couple more. Let's see. We forgot all the reaction figures and Funko Pops. I mean, I guess if we're going to expand kind of where the Flame Toys characters sit, that would be kind of where maybe like officially licensed non-transforming figures.
I don't think Daryl forgot them.
Yeah. And then just someone saying that they really feel like our shows are being run quite well, but we need more Yoshi, which is something we get every year because I think Yoshi made 2 or 3 appearances last year. But I mean, that's one of the reasons that we
not
have.
up to us.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we have the rotating guest host now to kind of help fill that void of a fourth voice. So maybe we can have a "Who's your favorite Transmissions" guest host. Pit everyone against each other. But that's. Yeah, I think we got some really good feedback here this year. 71 people fill out that last question. So we'll definitely go through it more in detail and see if there's anything good that we can incorporate into the shows.
All right.
If we had a question of who's the best guest host, I'm going to get that one wrong too.
How about who is the best editor? Options would be me, Charles, and Mike. So Mike had better run away with that one.
And I'd still get it wrong.
All right, everyone. Thanks again for filling out our survey, taking the time to give us the feedback. It's always great to see what the Transformers community has to say in both the toys and the comics. And maybe next year we'll add some more categories for the shows and everything too. And giving us feedback about the podcast too, that helps us out. Thank you for that as well. And we appreciate that.
And thank you for actually filling out the entire survey for those of you that did, because that was such a long survey.
Yes. Yeah, we appreciate your time, and hopefully you got to seeing the results in aggregate is really interesting. At least I think it's interesting. So hopefully you guys liked it too. And that will do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. As always, we end the show by giving a shout out to our masterpiece donatrons. So thank you again to John 4X Levengood and Dinobot Maximize. If you'd like to become a donatron as well, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. Our masterpiece donatrons are contributing at a very high level, so we like to give them a shout out in every episode. So thank you guys. We also have our TeePublic store. That's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And this week, TeePublic is doing a site-wide sale where everything is 35% off, and that means t-shirts are $13. This is running until February 27th. So if you're watching this on February 26th, you've still got another day to take advantage of this. Pretty good, 35% off. Everything is a pretty good deal. So, and if you go through our link, if you buy anything from TeePublic through our link, that helps out the show. So transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that's it. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.